Hi everybody, today I'm working on what's going to become an enormous Mardi Gras wreath. I have some Deco mesh here. This is 10 inches wide and each piece is cut to 15 inches. These are from the end of the roll, so that's why they're rolled up so tight. But I'm going to show you how to roll ones from the beginning of the roll, because you're going to have more of those. So yeah, this is just 10 by 15. I have some pipe cleaners that are going to match the top layer of the mesh. And all you're doing is rolling them up. I was putting some stuff on top of them, but in the end I pretty much just kind of put them in between my stomach and the table to hold the curl in. You can use a chip clip, or if you have like one of those Bodabras, you can really use anything. I wouldn't go out and buy something to do this. So I take all three that are all rolled up. Make sure they're centered, and then because the gold is on top, I'm going to use a gold pipe cleaner, and that's just to help me know which color's on top, because once everything's in a pile, it's hard to figure out what's on top. And these, you don't even really need to curl back up because they're already done. I just trimmed a little bit of the end off because they were not straight enough when I was cutting them, which that was my own fault. And now I'm going to put the green on the top because this is my last pipe cleaner. I ended up making 23 bunches of these from a 10-yard roll. Well, 3 10-yard rolls, and I used 20 on the wreath, and then I just went in and filled in with the other pieces because what else was I going to do with them, So how I'm doing this is, see the 2 outer rings, and then there's the 2 inner rings. I am putting a bundle on the brace between the outer rings, and then one in the middle of each section. So each section is going to have 2 bundles, which is 12 total. So going on the brace, and I'm going purple, green, gold because that's always how I say it in Mardi Gras colors, purple, green, gold. Which in the end, it really doesn't matter because there's so much mesh on here, you can't really tell if anything's in order. So that one was in the middle. Now I'm going to go to the brace and put the next one on. And all I'm doing in the back is just twisting it around. You'd have to twist it 1,000 times. I think I did each one like 3 or 4 times. And I got this mesh from Gordon's. It's used to be a really nice store out here in New Orleans, but they recently moved and really downsized, and it was sad going in there. But they had what I needed, so what are you gonna do? So I'm just speeding this up here because this is literally just twisting pipe cleaners around a wreath form. Like, I don't know what to tell you. One in the middle, one at each little brace. Making sure they're all on there. And now we're going to move to the inner 2 rings of the wreath, which they're a little harder to get to. I don't think it matters if you do the inside first or the outside. You're still going to have to be moving a bunch of stuff around. And for this one, I'm going in the same color pattern of the purple, green, and gold, but I am doing 8. So it's north, south, east, and west, and then 1 in between each. So it's, like it's north, south, east, west, and then 1 in between each one. And really, you don't have to, obsess over getting this right, because I ended up just putting more in there where I thought we needed a little bit extra space. And I wasn't expecting this wreath to get this big, but I don't think I've ever made, I don't even know what they call this, like the curls, whatever it is. And I'm kind of fluffing it up, making sure that the colors are evenly distributed. And right here, I'm just going through and twisting all my pipe cleaners together. I'm going to cover the back of this eventually. I couldn't find a placemat that matched any of them, but I'm just twisting them together and moving them down, like pretty much braiding them together, but twisting them, because I don't want a bunch of pipe cleaners sticking up all over the place, and I don't want to cut them just in case. So see, there's a hole right there, and I have some mesh left over, so I'm just going to stick it in there. And I did cut these at 15 inches, but you could cut them at 10, and you'd end up with more bundles, so you'd end up with a fuller wreath, but I thought the 15 looked nice. This mesh is not particularly thick. So yeah, there's the wreath base done. And there is a hole in the middle. Kind of hard to get to. Okay, so we're making bows. This is a Mardi Gras. It's 2 Mardi Gras ribbons from Walmart, a Christmas ribbon from Walmart, that's the purple, and then just a gold. I had so much gold ribbon, could not find any green ribbon no matter what I tried, so, So I'm just trying to get these in order of how I want to put them on the bow. This glittered ribbon right here, what a pain. It didn't shed as much as the Mardi Gras ribbon, but it was just, it's really, really stiff. So I started off with 7-inch loops and then worked down about a ½ inch each time. Yeah, that sheer ribbon with the glitter on it is just... oof. So with the 7, 6.5, these loops are at 6, and I think the gold is going to be at like 5.5. Or maybe 6. Yeah, it looks like I kept those at 6 too. Now that I've got all the ribbons together and I've got everything where it's supposed to go, I'm just going to take this off of here and wire it with a pipe cleaner. I would have used a pipe cleaner that matched better, but I was out. And for some reason I have like 1,000 white pipe cleaners. I don't know what I was planning on doing with them, but I'm going to use what I got. And yeah, I just sped this up to like, 15x speed because nobody wants to see me struggle with a bow again. The struggle bow. And fluff it and pull it and all that good stuff. And put that off to the side and look at that. Ugh. And now what? What are we going to do? We're going to make another bow because we're masochists. So this one is just going to be a little bit smaller. I think it stays at about 5 inches or 6. I don't know. Yeah, it's 6. No, it's 5. What am I doing? Yeah, it's 5. Okay. Sorry, guys. So with this one, I'm only using the fleur-de-lis ribbon and the gold ribbon. And yeah, it's because the other two were hard to work with and messy. I really wish I could have found some green. I think that would have been nice, but... what you gonna do? And, same old. Gonna move everything around where it needs to be. I'm gonna wire it up, and I'm gonna spare you the fluffing, I think. Hopefully. I edited this like 2 days ago, and now I'm just getting around to the voiceover. Okay, so here we are. This is the top hat I made. Yeah, it was really messed up, and I said, you know what? I got glitter paint, so I painted the whole thing with purple glitter. It's got a fleur-de-lis ornament on it from Walmart, and some... I don't know what that's supposed to be. It was like a little wired garland, the gold. And I'm trying to figure out where I want my bows. And to figure that out, I'm just going to put my hat on first. I wanted it in the middle, but then it seemed like there was no right place to put the bows, and I wanted the bows because there really wasn't any other ribbon on here besides that. So I ended up putting it kind of in the upper left-hand corner on an angle. And all I'm doing here is feeding the pipe cleaners through and then twisting them once just to keep it in place because I don't want to twist it all the way and then have to untwist it if it's not in the right position. And this is definitely something you have to work at to get these through here. I was like, oh, that's not going to be so bad. And, you know, struggle with it on a struggle bus. I really like the way that top hat came out. Now I'm fishing the last set. I have 3, well, it's actually 6 pipe cleaners, but they're just doubled for length, which I don't think I had to do because as you can see, there's a lot of pipe cleaners sticking out the back. So I'm just kind of securing those and checking the placement, and once I know that that's where I want it, I go back and just tighten everything up. Okay, that hat is on there. And there's a bunch of curls underneath it. I end up moving them kind of around, you know, just to bring back. There's that little dent on the side. Not really dent, like an indent, a divot in the wreath because the rolls are kind of being pushed down by the hat. But see, I'm pulling them around so the hat is more nestled in. And this is just a half of a top hat because I don't really see the point of putting a full one in there. This wreath is already really big, like sticks out really far because of the Deco mesh, so I didn't need the hat to stick out even further. So I like the big bow there, and I like the smaller bow up top. So I'm just gonna dig my way through the Deco mesh, the same thing I did with the hat, and just wire it on. And I'm not pulling super hard because I don't want this to sink into the mesh, because then it's just going to kind of flatten everything out. So I pulled it enough to get it just kind of sitting on top of the curls. And then fluffed it and trimmed the tails for like 45 minutes, which I just cut out because there's no need for you to see that. I don't need to torture you. So this one's going at the top right of the hat. I'm just kind of pulling it down, getting it in there. Then I'm going to fluff it out again. And even though I was so like determined to put the colors in there the right way, like there's a big grouping of pink on, not pink, there's a big grouping of purple on one side, there's some green on the other side. But once everything was done, I had to go back and trim everything because this Deco mesh really frayed bad, and I just kind of moved things around. These are just some ornaments I'm adding because I didn't have any green ribbon, but I did have like 6 green ornaments. Don't know where they came from, and I was looking for them everywhere last year. These are probably the only ones I was able to find, and this is what's left over from Christmas. And I'm putting some gold in there. I don't know what that was. Oh, that was all the glue that my glue gun's constantly leaking. I'm over this glue gun. And these are just some glittery stems. I think I get these from Walmart around Christmas time for something, and I never use them. And I'm just putting those coming out from the bow. So if you've never made a Deco Mesh wreath, I think this is a good one to do because all you're doing is making those little bundles and sticking them on there. You don't have to worry about, you know, pulling out poofs or doing this or doing that, and it just worked out really good. Wasn't the quickest thing to do, but I like the way it came out. And there's a little ribbon right underneath the hat that I put there because there was a hole that didn't have enough mesh or whatever. I ended up just kind of pushing it to the back to cover up some. And this is the finished product outside of my shed. I like the way it came out. It's glittery, it's big, it's, you know, gaudy like Mardi Gras. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making this. Don't know if I'll make another one very soon because it was a lot. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys on Monday with something new. Don't know what it is yet, but it'll be something. Alright guys, bye-bye.